What was cute in high school is concerning in adulthood.
You do not want to exert your agency to get you out of a sad situation.
You're going to start by loving yourself, limiting the access that you give to people.
Pragmatically, having a friend vent to you about their relationship more often than not plays out in the following way. From approach, hearing the quote-unquote remix from each partner, bridging perspectives, to dealing with the inevitable domino effect.
Knowing that you need to hear both sides before you come to a conclusion, because no matter who the person is that's giving you their side, they could be lying. You got to be mature enough to accept that fact that this very person in front of you who you love dearly could still very well be lying to you and only telling you the version that's going to make them look like they're the good guy in the story that they're telling you.
Don't come telling me stuff about what happened with you and so or you and so and then expect me to just pick your sides. If you tell me some event that happened, I'm going to think of it logically. I'm going to look at both sides. And if you're wrong, I'm going to tell you you're wrong to your face.
You say, can you get what?
Some headphones.
He say, can he get some head from you?
He said headphones.
Oh, I thought he said head from you. You said what?
Some headphones.
Oh,
as a friend, when you get involved in your friend's relationship issues, you're the only one that comes out as the loser in that situation. Because when the both of them get back together, which 9 times out of 10 they will, or start talking again or whatever the case may be, best believe they're snitching on you. They are going to tell their partner, whether it's that guy or that girl, that, yo, this guy said this, that girl said that. They might not even say it in a malicious way, but once they let them know that you said that, you are the one getting cut off. You might have thought that, yeah, let me give my friend advice to cut off that guy, to cut off that girl. And now you're the one getting cut off. Because that partner, when they've snitched, that partner's told them, yo, that friend's got to go, you know. They're not really riding for us. They're not trying to see us together. They're not trying to see us win. I just learned that the best thing to do is to not get involved. Listen to them, be a good friend, console them and everything like that. Give them generic advice. At this point, yeah, I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to air it.
It gets to the point where you have to ask them, what are you going to do about it? Are you here to vent? Or are you actually looking for a solution?
Seen in the title of the video, I'll not assume everybody yet gets the context of the phrase leave them or leave us out of it. So coming up.
The phrase is just a boundary. It is saying, I care about you and I want to see you do better, but at this point you are not going to leave, so leave me out of it. It's advice in and of itself. It's not just disregarding someone's feelings. It is literally telling you to leave for your own good. Like, no one is going to tell you to leave someone that treats you well. No one is doing that.
You're talking about toxic relationships that you can leave, you're just choosing not to. Not every abusive relationship is a situation somebody cannot leave.
To me, it kind of just goes to show we're not going to enable this complacency.
Because let's be honest, this is not about who are desperately seeking an escape route.
There's a difference between I'm struggling and I need support and my partner treats me like while at the same time saying, I'm not leaving. At that point, what are you supposed to do?
I don't want to hear it. Talk to a therapist. Go do couples therapy.
Now, when people in a relationship post a video on public platforms and it's very clear how awful one partner is treating the other, it's deplorable to see the partner who is getting treated awfully and is usually the one posting the video, post a follow-up video, soft peddling the whole situation. This is how accurate the impersonations are and the conversations around this behavior.
I didn't expect the last video to blow up the way it did, and some of you guys took the video out of context, okay? Just because I posted a video and you guys took a 10-second video and decided to think that you guys know what's happening in my life. Well, let me tell you something. Just because he left me in the labor ward while I was giving birth to go hop on a game with his friends at home, and he came back like 2 days after the baby was born, does not mean anything. We laughed about it because we understand that it's not that deep. It's something light. All of you people commenting bad stuff, I will not tolerate that. You guys have clearly never been in a healthy relationship with your partners, because this is what a relationship looks like. And I'd really appreciate it if you guys give us some space and you guys give us some privacy. It's my life, it's not yours. So respect my boundaries and respect my privacy. Thank you.
You don't know him. You don't know him like I do. You don't know me. You don't know the 10 years that we have had together, of the ups and the downs. You don't know any of that. You just see a 37-second clip that, frankly, guys, is literally the worst 37 seconds of his life. Okay? That video that I posted, that was the worst 37 seconds of his life. And yeah, I uploaded it. Yeah, I recorded it and watched it back and edited it and posted it. But I never could have imagined that there were so many people online that would honestly think that they could make a fair judgment of somebody based on a 37-second video. That, again, was literally the worst 37 seconds of his life and in no way reveals any sort of character flaw about him.
I just don't understand the purpose of these videos. What's the purpose of it? Are you looking for sympathy? Are you looking for empathy? Are you, looking for solidarity? Do you want us to rally around you? What's the objective here?
There's a very clear distinction between women who are crying out for help and women who are crying out for community in their delusion. The women that are crying out for help, or they're just exposing what they dealt with, they're usually posting that after they've already left the dynamic, or they're posting it as a documentation in case anything happens to them. You don't see them in the comments defending his behaviors. You see them saying, I don't know why I dealt with that. Whereas when most of the internet says, leave us out of it if you're not leaving him, it's because we see them looking for community for the when we're helping, you're crashing out on us. Well, leave us out of it then, because I feel like the internet has some layer of empathy for abuse victims, and you're weaponizing our empathy against us.
So this obviously isn't a cry for help. What should that tell you and I? It's for engagement. They know exactly what the reaction is going to be. When they come on here, defend them afterwards, it's because they want you, the audience, to do all of the emotional heavy lifting for them, so that they don't have to go and call them a piece of their face. I'm fed up.
Internet is fed up of posts about boyfriends that do mean things, and then women posting them, and we're in the comments telling them, leave him, he's abusive, he's this and that, and then you stay. And anytime it's like, well, it's just an inside joke between us, that looks like an excuse. So if you don't leave him, do not involve us anymore.
There is need to understand how this differently translates, especially in real life. With the case of Jiyoung Gay being a vivid example of how dire this can get, I'll link that to this. It should pop up somewhere on your screen towards the end of this video.
How many have lost their lives just being friends of someone who was in a situation like that because they did not say, okay, well, if you're not going to leave me out of it. They kept saying, I'm going to show up, I'm going to support you, I'm going to have your back 1,000%. And you know where a lot of their friends are? In the same situation. That's just the reality of it. On a basic level, no, I don't want to keep hearing over and over and over again for you to use me for emotional labor and then do nothing about it. Why is this interrupting my life? If you are in that situation, and on top of that, y'all tell your friend all this stuff, then you go back to the man who is dangerous instead of saying, here's how I feel about this situation, which I get why you don't want to do that, but you'll say, oh, well, my friends don't think it's right that you. So you've unleashed a dangerous man on your friends. No, you didn't bring him to her house, but in theory, y'all are going to be places together. You could be out, he could pop up on you, she could come by your house. At some point, you're going to have to wrestle with the fact that you do not want to exert your agency to get you out of a sad situation. And that doesn't make it everybody else's consequence to face.
I want to talk about my experience with that because I was in an abusive relationship from the time I was 17 till the time I was 20. I was being abused physically and mentally, but I didn't want to leave, so I didn't even try to leave because of how emotionally dependent I was on him. I also have BPD and I wasn't taking care of my mental health at all. When I finally left, I was able to see that, oh, nothing was holding me back. I could leave. I ended up going back, which is pathetic to admit, but it was the reality. I had not learned to be okay being on my own yet. The point is though, I had friends. I had a lot of friends. Towards the end of the relationship, I didn't have so many friends. That relationship had been going on for 3 years. My friends would try and try and try. They would always pick me up when I was down. They would always take my anger out on them because I was too scared to take it out on him. And eventually people get fed up with that, especially when they see that you are in a situation that you can control. You can leave this situation, you just don't want to. And of course, my situation doesn't cover everybody's situation, but there are a lot of people who can relate to the situation I was in. And I feel like if you don't call these things out, these people won't develop enough self-awareness to understand the situation that they're in to be able to get themselves out. And a lot of times, these people in these abusive relationships drag everybody else into it. They start treating their friends or the people around them as if it is their fault they are in this situation, even when they are actively choosing to stay in the situation. Even if you are in a situation that you literally cannot leave, it is still not fair to blame everybody else except for the person who is abusing you. Also, I don't think anybody's a bad person for not wanting to watch their friend continuously put themselves in this situation and then have to be the one to pick up all of the pieces. I do think you're a good person if you choose to stay, but I've had friends who tried to stay for years. You get tired at some point, and that doesn't make you a bad person.
I've had quite a few messy situations where I have had to go save one of the homegirls. I've stuck my neck out quite a bit, posting bail, paying for new phones and new phone numbers, paying for hotel stays, sending a billion links for resources in my area, offering to pay for self-defense classes, being willing to lend out my own, paid in cash so they could clean my house so that way there's nothing on the bank account. I've tried my best. I've been the listening ear. I've been the house that they go to late at night whenever, issues start arising. But we need to be honest about this conversation. All of the actions that I have taken has absolutely and will continue to put a target on my back because of the men that they have laid up with. There is an inherent liability of dealing with these women. The issue is that when you form relationships with people that don't have personal boundaries and autonomy, the cost of having and maintaining that relationship is they expect you to not have any boundary. The moment that you state your boundaries, it is a personal attack on their autonomy. They feel attacked because they themselves do not have boundaries and don't understand how to have them and let them exist. But the real liability happens when anything you said negative about that man, she's going to use as pillow talk. They think, oh, well, I can trust him. It's us against the world. They don't think that if things go, for lack of a better term, that I could be somebody that man goes after. And historically, they will go after them. Please, ask me how I know. Thankfully, I have a decent amount of resources. I have a surplus of signs on my property explaining that I do in fact have cameras on my property. Thankfully, I have a surplus of, so people know better. That does not stop the liability from happening. I would still have to go to a lawyer. I could still have charges pressed against me. I know the liabilities that come with these situations. And what I will say is the last few times I've been burned really, really, really bad. If given the opportunity to help again, would I? Absolutely. But I navigate those scenarios very differently with my lived experience. As a side note for any women that have kids, it's not just you that's at stake. It's your kids and your family as well. I would not encourage you to get involved in situations like that if you have children.
Anyway, that was it for today's video.